guys have the unique situation of coming from the stage to the screen. This show's huge. I mean, it won multiple Tony Awards. You yourself won Tony Awards. Do you feel, obviously you got to tell your story and make the movie version, but do you feel any like pressure to like please the theater nerds? And
after all these years, you know, we've pleased as many theater nerds as we can handle. I mean, it's
not to get into our personal lives.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, at least, actually, no, 1 million. We've played to 1 million audience members each, probably over the years. You know, when theater is a big deal because you got little houses of 1,000 people at a time. So, we've. I feel pretty secure that we've made a lot of theater fans happy.
Yeah.
You know, now it's an interesting time for us to take these insights that we know about characters we've played so many times to a more subtle medium and bring the story of these guys, which I think is so compelling. It was always my favorite element of Jersey Boys, to the front, to the forefront. And who better to bring the shadow out of the light than Clint Eastwood?
Right, yeah, the man who's lived in the shadows.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Clint. I mean, he's obviously an actor's director, and for you guys being this being your first huge movie, what did you learn from him?
I mean, what did
everything?
It's still washing over us, you know, in the after we've wrapped. But I guess it's one of those things that you come in with a preconceived notion based on his history, even his acting roles, and you think, you know, someone who's as legendary as Mr. Eastwood would be calling all the shots, would be telling you what to do all the time, and it couldn't have been less like that. He's very much on the reins, but he's in the mix, and he's just letting you sort of explore and just challenge yourself to, you know, bring things to the table. It was very collaborative.
You know how when you do something a lot, at a certain point, you know, not the shortcuts, but you know what you don't need anymore, you know, like anything in life. And it's funny, after working with Clint, I think about the other directors and people that I've worked with over my career, and I've worked with some great directors. But it's funny to see how certain people start to get weird about certain things, or they try to do something artsy, or they have their method, and you get on a Clint Eastwood set, and he's like, all right, let's get to work, and you do this, and do this, and we turn on the cameras, and let's make a movie. And that's why everyone wants to keep on working for Clint, because it's not this process that ruins you artistically. And if there's anyone out there who says, yeah, but the man's still around, and he started making movies in 1812, I think. So, you know, it's like it's you know, his career has gone on forever, and he still hasn't. He was working on another movie at the same time as this one, so it's just like he's nonstop.
Your patrons probably more than anyone else understand when, you know, that cliche that Clint is an actor's director. That might not mean something, that a general audience might not understand that as much. Your patrons would. But I mean, what that meant for us is that Clint, we're actors, stage actors maybe more than film, but Clint is an actor first. He was an actor before he was a director. And he knows all of the things that directors that he worked with who weren't so great, all of those ways that those kind of messed him up or got in his way as what he did as an actor, so he doesn't get in our way. He wants us to play, then he'll intercede if something's not going in the right direction. Right. But he knows how important it is when you hire an actor who knows his character really, really well, to let him free and to create a comfortable environment. And I think that really was a key element to why you hear so many people call Clint Eastwood the actor's director.
Yeah, and he has a reputation for, you know, not doing a lot of takes, but you guys recorded all the songs live on set, so how does that work?
Well, I mean,
you just got to nail it and go on.
You do. I
Well,
mean,
we know how to nail it, though.
Yeah,
right, that's true.
Because on
you've done it so many
Broadway,
times.
you got to nail it.
Yeah,
and the next chance you get for that one song is the next show at that particular point in. We know how to sing over and over again and get it right every time because we have to on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, playing these characters for so long and then now taking this to the screen, I mean, it's interesting because playing somebody who was a real person presents its own challenges, but then so capturing their essence as a human being and then capturing their essence as a singer, that's almost two different things because you're trying to match who they are as a person and how they sound.
I find that it's the same challenge as there's no. other way to approach it except the way that you approach a dialect
Yeah.
or anything. That how else can you approach the singing as someone else? You have to approach it as the same as like the way they talk or move. There's no other way. I wouldn't have been able to figure it out unless I made it that simple.
Yeah.
You know, when I sing as Frankie Valli, I'm evoking his sound, and I'm trying to evoke it the same mental process I use when I'm doing a dialect if a character speaks differently. And Frankie's dialect is different than mine. He's got a Jersey dialect. I don't have one.
Yeah. I hear, speaking of dialect, I hear one of you guys does like a mean Christopher Walken.
The word got around. It's
Man.
evolved. The first time, you know, it was a.
He's
it
just
was-
like he's just been anointed in the last few days.
I know,
because
as
someone
the-
asked us to do it, and he was the best
We
one.
gotta hear.
You know.
I like when you're at the craft services table.
You're gonna have that egg salad. That's horrible now. Now the pressure's on. This is where the other day I did when I failed. He said, I think that was more Liza Minnelli. Right. But, you know, no, it's funny. After working with him, you end up talking like him a little bit.
Yeah.
I found myself saying, Frankie, how about we make a deal? And it's just like, it just happens. It comes out. Get him off set. I'm going to keep talking like him. But, you know, he's
deeply influential.
he really is. And he's the coolest guy.
This watch.
Oh man.
Just watch. I think the thing about this entire movie is that what everyone, the audience, ever thought about making a big, giant Hollywood movie that, you know, and for actors, Hollywood has changed so much over the years. I mean, it really isn't the image that we all imagined it would be when we first got into this business. Making this movie, it really was. It was like going on some virtual reality ride, and there's Clint Eastwood and Christopher Walken, and you're making the film of Jersey Boys. There was not a second of it that I believed until I finally saw it on the screen, and I was still in
It's
it.
as exciting as you think it would be
Yeah.
to make
driving
a studio
on
film. I mean,
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah.
Like how I imagine someone feels the first time they walk into Times Square. It's just like you just take a breath and you breathe in the air. And we were doing that on the historical Warner Brothers lot. I mean, we shot on the same soundstage as Casablanca.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
All right, so last question. If you guys could be in any other rock band, which rock band would you want to be in?
Kiss.
Good answer.
You too.
You too?
Ooh. I see about the Four Tops, but I don't think that's going to happen.